Today, we're gonna break in and get all the rust off by working beautiful moss agate, and I believe this is Missouri lace agate. Let me get this stuff wet and I'll show you how beautiful this stuff could look. It's gonna look a lot better polished than wet, but we'll at least give you a little bit of a show before we start drawing shapes on it and stuff. So, last time I made cabochons, it was an absolute train wreck because I cut out all the shapes and everything, and then I dopped them, and then I went to shape them, and then the dopping stick wasn't centered on the back of the little shape that I had made, and it was really terrible. So I'm trying to do my absolute best with this today in hopes that these turn out really well. So I'm gonna look over these. We'll use our stencils here. These are really cool. I got all of these over at the gym shop, and I'm gonna find some really cool shapes. As I said, I'm getting the rust off for making cabochons, so I'm gonna pick some easier shapes for myself. What in the world? Why is that all sticky? It's gotta be the kids, I swear. Anyway, so we'll do this and then I'll show you what I got afterwards. We got our second slab all shaped up. I'm happy with that. That is a lot of cabochons to work through. I think we got some good placement with the fractures, and I think these circle ones are gonna be kind of tricky, but I'm very excited to see how they turn out. So let's head over to my 6-inch saw and we'll start trimming up these shapes. All right, we have so many amazing looking pre-shaped cabs. I have a lot of grinding ahead of me, and I even got, I think, 2 extra shapes out of them that I'm just gonna do some freeform cabbing when I get to it. I've got all my pieces here, and as a bonus, since I have my 6-inch saw set up and has water in it and everything, for those of you who are like, I love cutting and seeing what's inside all those amazing agates, I got 1 agate that's sitting on top of my 6-inch saw that I'm gonna cut open for you real quick. 1 Malawi to rule them all. You ready to do this? All right, and I'm gonna show you at the end of the video what it looks like. Just kidding, we'll see it right now. Hey, that's so pretty. Look at those beautiful white bands in there. Look at that little bit of orange there. That's super sweet. I love the white banding out there with the cream. That is super sweet. All right, let's head over to the Cab King. All right, here's all of our shaped, unshaped cabochons. I'm really excited about this. This is gonna be super fun. I'm gonna shape them first on the 220 grit wheels, but I just realized, you guys, my bucket, it's It's not full all the way, and that water is the same temp as the shop. It's cold. So I'm gonna fill up a bucket here. I don't know why I grabbed this one. Fill this up. And let that baby warm up. Dirty. It's a little better. So anyway, while I wait for that to warm up, I just want to say, I hope you guys like this cabbing video so far. I'm excited to see how these turn out at the end, obviously. I think they're going to be really pretty. I just hope that the craftsmanship with it is good, because the cabbing realm for me is something I still feel like I'm in my infancy with. I mean, a lot of this stuff I do in lapidary and rock hunting, but I'm excited. And if they do turn out, I'm going to take some macro pictures, and I got a new macro lens, so I've really enjoyed that. It's been a lot better than my old like clamp on one. It kind of sits over the phone and stuff. It's pretty cool. So about 5 minutes, this thing will be warmed up and we will get to shaping. So yeah. All right, we are ready to get shaping on the 220 grit wheels. This is a brand new one. This is an old one. So the first one I can just like easily grind away, and this one gets the scratches out, and it makes for the polishing process to be super easy. So we'll get to grinding. I started on one of the scrap pieces, and I domed it on the wrong side. This is the rust that I need to get off. So I'm gonna mark all of my pieces with a B for back, and then I'll grind it off later, but luckily it was like the smallest piece. Oh man, I forgot how long it takes to shape these cabochons. Oh my gosh, it's gonna take so long. Alrighty, back to work. So I've been grinding away for about 20-30 minutes, and I just remembered another important thing when it comes to cabbing. Like I said, it's been a while. So what I remembered was, before you get to the doming part of this, you want to dop it, and I'm gonna dop these bad boys. So I have these drying out so that they're not wet, and I need to get my dopping station, which is tucked back over here. Get this bad boy plugged in so that the wax can start melting. And then once these are dry, I'll set them on top of here, get them warmed up, and we'll get to dopping. But while that's all doing that, I'm gonna finish the last bit of grinding on the last 5 there. New warm yet? Been a while. Not even close. Come on now. Love the smell of melting dop wax in the evening, late evening. Man, it's taking so long for that to melt, and I was like, why is it taking so long? It's because it's 54 degrees in here. It's so cold. I'm happy to wait though. My hands from shaping those, or I guess grinding them into their shapes, they hurt. I'm so excited to get these bad boys dopped so I can take it easy on my hands. I'm gonna count these really quick. There's 11 cabochons to be dopped. I have plenty of dop sticks, I think. Yeah, I should have plenty of dop sticks. I'm so excited. It's been probably 6 months since I've made a cabochon. So learning a lot as I go. And that's all you can do is just learn as you go. It's been fun. If you guys are liking it so far, hit that thumbs up. If you're new, hit that subscribe or follow button. I'm thinking of going to get a snack so I can not just stand here and twiddle my thumbs. So I'll be back. Oh my gosh. The answer is no. I don't work with wild protein chips. They're amazing though. Free ad placement. If you haven't tried these, oh my gosh, they're so good. I'm gonna eat like 100 of them, and hopefully it'll help heat things up in here for that dopping wax. Oh, they're so good, man. Well, yep, I think we are finally ready to dop. So I have all of them dopped except 2. I ran out of the medium-sized sticks, and if this little stick works with that one, I'll put it on those from those. Anyway, but I left my dopping station on for now because I know some of these are gonna pop off during the grinding and doming part, which is now where we're at. So I'm letting these sit for just a little bit more, letting the dop wax kind of set, and then we'll get to that. I can already tell that this project is definitely going to take 2 days because the processes of grinding into the shapes has taken forever. And now the dop wax, waiting for that to go and melt, took forever, and letting it set now, it's going to take a little bit. Yeah, I forget how long cabbing takes, and maybe it probably would have been easier if I didn't do so many. That's on me. But anyway, I'm gonna get everything set up here, add a little bit more water to my bucket, and get my Cab King on and respirator, all that good stuff. So, yeah, back on the Cab King. Calling all cabbing experts. Do you dop while you're on the diamond wheels? Is it too hard? Do you dop when you're on the soft wheels? I just dopped everything and they're all popping off. I have a bunch of other ones that's like, they're just gonna pop off when I'm trying to dome them. Do you dome them? No, once they're domed, no. I don't think that's right. My worry is that it's so cold in here that even though I've dopped them, I let them set, that the dopping wax can't get hot enough because it's so cold in here, and then I'm using water that's cold, and it just gets cold and pops off. Like normally when you're done with the cabochon, you put it in the freezer and it pops off. I think that's what's happening prematurely. And I'm really not looking forward to making all these cabochons by hand. But if they just keep popping off, I'm not going to dop them because that's a lot of time. So I'm going to go through these, and if they all pop off, I'm nixing the dopping sticks, and my poor hands are going to cry. So I'm nixing the dopping sticks. All of the, for the most part, all of the moss agates popped off. The last few, I just touched them with my finger and they fell off. So I think it's the coldness in here that's being a stinker. I've never had that many be so difficult. So I have 3 left on dop sticks. And they're the Missouri lace agate. It's a matter of time. They're gonna pop off, but I got them pretty much shaped. So now I have to go back and dome the rest of them and all that stuff. And by the time I get done with that, it's gonna be the end of day 1 because it's gonna take forever. It is what it is. So man, I have been on this first 220 grit wheel for like an hour and a half. It's crazy. Anyway, we'll get back to work. I'll show you what they look like when we're done doming. So I have all but 2 of our cabochons domed. These 2 are what's left. I will get to those tomorrow because I'm not doing any more tonight. I'm tired, I'm cold, and yeah, that was a lot. I think there's a lot of stuff in there that I maybe didn't need to do. Could have expedited some time, but I'm learning, and that's just how you learn. So is what it is. Let me show you some of our pieces so far, and then I'll see you tomorrow. All right, here's some of our Missouri. You can't even see that because it is so far away. And yeah, look at that. That's dry. Looks really good wet. And that wetness is what it'll look like when it is polished. So I have very high hopes for this stuff. And then these guys are looking awesome. I just finished this guy. Moss agate is great. Oh man, look at this. This is so pretty. I can't wait to see that totally polished. Circles are hard to do, must say. Anyway, oh, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of work. See you tomorrow. So it is now day 2 of the project. I have all of our cabochons through both 220 grit wheels, and I'm so happy. Now get to work on the res wheels starting at 140 all the way through 3000. I am so happy to be on the soft wheels. The grinding took so much out of my hands, but I'm gonna get to work. We'll see you in a couple minutes when I'm all said and done with that and we get to see these beautiful cabochons finally polished. So I am through the 3000 grit. I am so happy to be done, hopefully. I hope that they at least don't have scratches all over them, because while I was on my last wheel, the 3000 grit res wheel, I kept getting this like slamming feeling on my finger, which I actually got a little cut, not a big deal. But the slamming feeling, it was the res wheel. It's like when they get used a lot, they crack. And when they crack, pieces can kind of come off and fly off. And they kept hitting me on the same spot on my finger. So my worry is that because there's a piece missing from my res wheel, that might affect the quality, the mirror polish of the cabochons. Hopefully not. But anyway, I'm excited to see these, and I want to be the first one to say I know that these are not perfect. If there's an expert cabochon out there, they're probably going to see a lot of flaws in them. I'm nowhere near an expert cabochon maker. This is probably the most cabochons I have made at once, and I'm just hoping that they don't have scratches. But as far as like the shape and everything, like I know they're not perfect. I'm not a robot. I can't make them absolutely perfect, and I don't have enough reps in the realm of cabochon making to get them as perfect as they can be for a human. So anyway, I have them all dried off here. Let's take a peek at them. We'll inspect them. If they're good, you'll see them close up, and then we can move on to taking some macro pictures and seeing some of the beautiful mossiness that's going on with these and the bands and all the good stuff. So let's flip this around and check them out. So I looked over every single cabochon and they all passed. I'm so excited. These are the Missouri lace cabochons. Got a great shine to them. All the backs have as good of a polish as you can get when it's not really the one part you're gonna see if it's set into silversmith, but I did it anyway because I like the way it looks. Anyway, this cabochon is pretty cool, but this one right here is my favorite. This is the front. I think I ground and shaped the wrong side. So when I realized that, I gave the back side a domed face too, so it could kind of be set any which way. I like this side a lot better. I'm actually a little bummed I didn't do that one right. But anyway, the moss agates, these oval shapes are the worst. I dropped these about 1 billion times, and I think they are absolute pains in the rumps. They are stinkers, and they're really hard. When I was grinding these, all of these cabochons, I hit the second 220 grit wheel on my nail, and it's like down to the under the nail part of the thumb. It's like really uncomfortable, kind of weird the first day that it happened. But anyway, I think these look really great. None of them have scratches, so luckily I didn't have any issues with that from the 3000 grit, and I think these just look awesome. I can't wait to take some macro pictures with these. This guy is really, really beautiful. Great colors in there. So awesome. These guys, the circles, these ones are hard to hold. These ones shot out at me and hit me in the chest a few times, but I think they're very pretty. Beautiful colors. Like I said, I did the back. Backs look just as pretty. They're just awesome. And this one is my absolute favorite one that I did. Beautiful colors. It's got some bands in there. The back is just as pretty as the front. And this one, as much as I don't need a cabochon at all in my collection, I'm gonna keep this one. I really love it, and I'm probably gonna take a bunch of macro pictures with this one. So that is how this video will end, with a bunch of macro pictures. But before we get to the macro pictures, I wanna thank you so much for joining me on this huge lapidary adventure where we drew shapes on slabs, cut them out on the trim saw, the 6-inch saw, and then shaped them on my 8-inch Cap King, dopped them, got them undopped with the cabbing machine, and then worked them through all the stages, and now they're polished and they're beautiful. And if you're wondering what am I gonna do with these, since I am not a silversmith, these are all gonna go on my Etsy with details like weight and stuff like that. So that's gonna be linked below, as well as my Cap King, my saw, and all the stuff that I use. Thank you all again so much for watching. Thanks for joining me. I had a blast. I hope you did too. Leave your comments and your constructive criticism on how I could get better at this, and we'll see you next time. Bye.